So you're thinking about Australia. You hear about the great lifestyle, the fantastic weather, and of course the jobs. But there's a huge catch we need to talk about. Right now, Australia is defined by this massive trade-off, a booming economy on one side and a housing system that's, well, completely broken on the other. It's a story of incredible opportunity colliding head-on with a crisis.
And that leads us to the big question, especially for anyone looking to make the move, or for those of you who've just landed. Is that classic Australian dream, a good job, a stable home, is that even possible anymore for newcomers? Or has the price of entry just gotten way, way too high?
Okay, let's really break this down. It's like we're looking at two completely different countries in one. On one hand, you've got this incredible, strong economy. We're talking low unemployment, and get this, wages are actually growing faster than prices. That's a huge win. But then, you flip the coin, and you're looking at a full-blown housing emergency. Rents are through the roof, and buying a home, for most people, it feels like a total fantasy. It's these two extremes that create the massive dilemma we're talking about today.
All right, let's start with the good stuff. What's the big economic magnet pulling everyone in? Why does Australia still shine so brightly on the global stage? Honestly, the numbers speak for themselves.
Check this out. The unemployment rate is sitting around 4.5%. Now that might just sound like a number, but what it really means is what economists call full employment. Basically, if you want a job, there's a very, very good chance you're going to find one. It's not just a healthy market, it's absolutely packed with opportunities.
And here's the kicker. This is what really matters. We've had 8 straight quarters, that's 2 full years, where wages have grown faster than the cost of living. Your paycheck is actually getting you more stuff. Your money is going further. In a world where everyone's feeling the pinch of inflation, that is a huge deal, something a lot of other countries can only dream of right now.
And this isn't just some temporary blip. The whole economy is actually forecasted to speed up. The engine is just getting warmed up, with growth expected to pick up steam into 2026. So the economic outlook is strong and stable. Sounds pretty perfect, right?
Well, here's where that dream hits a brick wall, a massive one. Let's talk about the other side of the coin, the housing market. For anyone new to the country, it's not a market. It's a fortress, and it feels like the drawbridge is permanently up.
Just look at this number. It's insane. To comfortably afford a typical house in Sydney in a couple of years, your household will need to be pulling in over $300,000 a year. Let that sink in. 300 grand. That just completely slams the door on home ownership for, well, almost everybody.
And if you're a migrant, it's not just the price tag that's working against you. The entire system is kind of stacked. You've got different rules and higher fees for foreign buyers. All those government grants and support schemes to help people get into the market, yeah, most of them are for citizens only. It creates this situation where what really matters isn't how hard you work, but whether you can tap into the bank of mom and dad. And let's be honest, that's a luxury most people arriving here just don't have.
Okay, fine. So buying is off the table for a while. You just rent, right? Well, this quote from an economist really says it all. The rental market is where people are really, really suffering. We're talking about a genuine crisis for millions of tenants. And here's why. 44%. That is how much the average rent in Australia has shot up in just the last 5 years. To put a dollar figure on it, that's an extra $10,000 a year that the average renter is having to find just to keep a roof over their head.
So why is this happening? It's basic supply and demand. The national vacancy rate is just 1.6%. A healthy market should be around 3%. What this means in the real world is that for every decent rental property, you have dozens of desperate people lining up, offering more than the asking price. It's brutal competition, and as a tenant, you have pretty much zero power.
So the big question is, how on earth did we get here? How did one of the most prosperous countries in the world end up with such a broken housing system? Well, it wasn't one single thing. It was a perfect storm of problems all hitting at once.
You can see the story play out right here. It all started picking up steam after COVID. Building projects got delayed. Costs went up. Then, in 2023, net migration hit an all-time high, pouring fuel on the fire by adding a huge number of people, all needing a place to live. And right when we needed to build more houses than ever, the construction industry started to fall apart, with building companies collapsing left and right. It's a chain reaction that led us straight to this disaster.
The raw numbers are pretty stark. Between 2023 and 2026, we're expecting to see over 500,000 new households form, people needing homes. But in that exact same period, we're only on track to build about 467,000 new places to live.
That's a gap of almost 100,000 homes. We are literally not building fast enough to keep up. And the problem on the supply side is getting worse. It now takes 50% longer to actually build a house than it did just a few years ago. Everything is slower, more expensive, and more complicated. The system is just gummed up. And here's a massive reason why. Almost 3,000. That's how many building companies went broke in a single year. These are the very businesses we need to build our way out of this mess, and they're disappearing. This has crippled the industry's ability to respond, leaving a trail of half-finished homes and deepening the crisis. Okay, so things are bad now. But what about the future? If you're planning your life for the next 3 to 5 years, is there any light at the end of this tunnel? Let's see what's being done and if it's going to be enough.
So, here's the official plan. The government is trying a few things. They're funding some new social and affordable housing, trying to cut the red tape to get private projects built faster, and offering some schemes to help eligible buyers with their deposit. It's a multi-pronged attack, but is it big enough for the scale of the problem? While the expert forecasts aren't exactly encouraging, even with these plans in place, big players like AMP and KPMG are still predicting house prices will climb another 5 to 7% in 2026 alone. What that tells you is that the fundamental problem, not enough houses, is going to keep pushing prices up. Affordability isn't getting better anytime soon. And for anyone renting, the message is even clearer. Hunker down. Experts are pretty much unanimous that the rental market is going to stay extremely tight right through 2026. The earliest we might see any real relief is 2027, and that's only when and if the new supply of houses finally starts to catch up with this massive backlog of demand. It's going to be tough for a while.
You know, this quote really nails it. Think of Australia's housing market as one of those super exclusive clubs. Inside, it's great. All the good jobs and rising wages are there. But there's a massive, massive cover charge to get in. And that fee, the cost of a home, is so astronomical that it keeps most people stuck outside, just looking in.
Which brings us back to where we started. The whole idea of the Australian dream was built on a simple promise. You come here, you work hard, and you can build a good, stable life with a home of your own. But when a basic roof over your head becomes a luxury good, you have to ask yourself, who is that dream actually for anymore?